Words. We speak thousands of them every single day, without noticing their real weight. But Florence Scovel Shinn wasn't interested in casual language. She believed your word is your wand, an instrument of creation. In her eyes, every sentence was a spell. And most people? They cast curses upon themselves without realizing it. When you say things like, "I never get lucky," "I'm always broke," "Nothing ever works for me," you're not describing your life. You're declaring it. You're placing an order with the universe. And it always delivers. Florence taught that when your words are aligned with faith, love, and power, life bends in your favor. But when your words are soaked in fear, lack, and doubt, you attract more of the same. This wasn't just about thinking positive. It was about speaking with authority, speaking from spiritual law. Florence didn't wait until things looked good to speak good. She spoke good into being. She would say things like, "I cast this burden on the Christ within, and I go free." She didn't just repeat affirmations. She embodied them. So I'll ask you, what words have you been planting lately? Because your mouth is a wand, and it never stops casting. If you want a new life, start with a new language. You don't need to yell to be powerful, but you do need to be intentional. Speak love. Speak wealth. Speak peace. Even if you don't see it yet. That's not lying. That's faith. And faith always creates before it manifests. Your words are not simply sounds. They are vibrations. They are invisible waves of energy, and energy always moves ahead of matter. Florence used to say, "Man's word is his wand, filled with magic and power." And she meant it literally. Every time you speak, you are sending a command to the universe, not only asking for what you want, but affirming what you believe to be true. So when you say, "I can't afford it," you're not describing a situation. You're locking it in. When you say, "Nothing ever works for me," the universe listens and says, "As you wish." The more emotion you use, the faster it imprints. That's why angry words carry destruction. Why loving words carry healing. Why prayers whispered in pain can change a lifetime of silence. Florence didn't ask you to repeat things mindlessly. She taught that your conscious word must become one with your deep belief. Because the subconscious accepts what is repeated with conviction and acts on it. If you say, "I am rich," but your tone is filled with doubt, you're not creating wealth. You're echoing lack. But if you say, "I am guided, I am safe, I am supported," and let that truth fill your bones, you're rewriting your story from the inside out. This is why Florence created affirmations. Not to fool yourself, but to train your inner world to match the life you want. Every word you speak is either building your dream or destroying it. So, say less. But when you speak, make every word a declaration of what you're becoming. You are not just speaking, you are designing your future. Let me give you a real-life picture. Imagine a woman who's been repeating silently to herself for years, "I always attract the wrong men." Maybe it started as a joke with friends. Maybe it became an excuse. Eventually, it became a belief, one that shaped her reality. So, what happened? She did keep attracting men who mistreated her, disappointed her, or simply left her feeling unseen. Was it magic? Number. It was programming. You see, the subconscious doesn't have a sense of humor. It doesn't know the difference between what's said in jest or what's deeply felt. It receives words and emotions as commands. It stores them. and then it creates scenarios to match them. That's why Florence Scovel Shinn was so insistent. Your word is your wand. And if you're waving it carelessly, saying, I never win, I'm always tired, nothing works out for me, then you are casting spells against your own peace. But here's the beauty of this truth. The moment you realize it, you reclaim power, because you can reprogram it. Start by observing. What do you say most often, especially when things go wrong? Do you say, I'm so unlucky? Do you mutter, typical, just my luck? These phrases are not harmless. They are instructions. Now replace them, one by one. Instead of, I always attract the wrong people, you begin to whisper, I am deeply loved and respected. You may not believe it right away. That's okay. The subconscious doesn't need your belief at first. It just needs repetition and emotion. And that's where your magic begins. You can write it down. Say it aloud while looking into the mirror. Whisper it with feeling before bed, when your subconscious is most open. And the most powerful moment? Right after a negative thought. Let's say you catch yourself thinking, I can't do this. Stop. Breathe. Say out loud, actually, I'm figuring it out, and I'm doing better every day. It feels awkward at first, but soon you'll notice something shifting, not just in your words, in your emotions, in your results, in how the world responds to you. Because when your subconscious changes, your life can't help but follow. Your word is not just sound. It is a spiritual tool, a creative force. Florence Scovel Shinn believed that the words we speak are the blueprint of our destiny. And the more emotionally charged those words are, the faster they take root in our subconscious. Think of your word as a sculptor's chisel. Every time you speak, you're shaping your future. But most people don't realize that even casual language carries immense power. When you constantly say things like, I'm always tired, I'll never find love, or nothing ever works out for me, you're not just venting. You're programming your mind to accept that reality as permanent. Florence emphasized replacing destructive phrases with divine declarations. Instead of saying, I'm broke, say, divine abundance flows to me in perfect ways. Instead of saying, I'll never meet the right person, try, my perfect partner appears in divine timing. You may feel silly at first, especially if your outer world doesn't match those words. But this is where true faith begins. You're not lying to yourself. You're rewriting the script. And here's the key. Your subconscious does not respond to truth or lies. It responds to repetition and emotion. That's why affirmations work when you speak them consistently and with feeling, not just like reading a grocery list. So I challenge you. For the next 7 days, become radically aware of every word that leaves your mouth. Cancel negative statements. Replace them on the spot with words aligned with faith, love, peace, and abundance. Let your word become a tool of transformation. As Florence said, you must train the imaging faculty. The imagination has been called the scissors of the mind. If you are cutting out the wrong picture, change the pattern. The more deliberate you become with your language, the more precise and powerful your manifestations will be. If your word is your wand, then you are the magician. Every day, every moment, you're casting spells, either of blessing or of limitation. The key is becoming conscious of your words before they become your world. Let's break this into something practical. Imagine you wake up feeling tired and say to yourself, I'm so exhausted. This day is going to be awful. That phrase is not just a complaint. It's a spell. You've just told your subconscious to prepare for a draining day, and your mind will look for ways to confirm that. Now imagine a shift. You wake up and instead say, I'm giving myself grace today. My energy is returning to me with every breath. The words are gentle, but they carry power. They invite your subconscious to support you, not sabotage you. Florence said, words and thoughts are a form of radioactivity. What you repeat, you broadcast. And what you broadcast, you attract. Let's say you're struggling financially. Instead of saying, I'm always broke, you begin to affirm, there is unlimited supply, and it is mine by divine right. This isn't about lying to yourself. It's about speaking in alignment with a new possibility. Here's a simple practice. Every time you catch yourself saying something negative about your life, pause. Don't judge yourself. Just say, cancel. That's not my truth anymore. And replace it with a new, empowering statement. Over time, this rewiring becomes automatic. For relationships, change. Men always leave to, I am deeply loved and chosen every day. For your self-worth, shift, I'm never enough, to, I am complete, just as I am. These new words become your wand, and your wand creates your world. So speak not what is, but what you desire to be. Speak the future you choose until the present bends to match it. Your word is not just sound, it is substance. It is spiritual law. And when you speak with faith, with clarity, and with love, the universe listens, not out of obligation, but out of resonance. Your word is your wand. Every sentence you speak is a brushstroke painting the reality you'll walk into. So, paint wisely, speak with intention, and above all, remember, you are not here to react to life. You are here to command it, lovingly, divinely, through the creative force of your voice. Let your word become the seed. Let your voice become the power. Let your life become the harvest. Speak of health, and you shall feel vitality. Speak of love, and you shall attract connection. Speak of abundance, and you shall step into overflow. The world responds not to what you want, but to what you claim. So what will you claim today? This is Florence. And if this message stirred something within you, if you felt the truth rising in your soul, I invite you to stay on this path with me. Subscribe to the channel. Let's speak the life we were meant to live together.